So it's been a while since I did any videos other than the gardening videos, and when I got this Black Beauty here, I kind of stopped for the most part doing videos. We really didn't have a way to demo stuff. You know, everything's been hectic. It still is. We're still not really going to demo this, but if you know the story, this has kind of been the guitar I've wanted for like 10-15 years, maybe more. And at one time they were selling pretty cheap on eBay for like $250. Now they're closer to $1,000 for one in decent condition. This is the 3 pickup model, and what are my thoughts on it? Now, the doing the squealies or harmonics and stuff on the strings that came with it, which I don't know what they were, was very easy, but I couldn't keep it in tune. The low E was wavering a lot, like, you know, up and down, and even when you got it in tune, it could 10 minutes later it might have been sharp. So I tune it down, then tune it back up to get it in tune, and it would go sharp again. So I changed out to the Fender Voodoo Child strings, which are 10/38, if I'm correct. So then I had a problem getting the low E sounding right, because it has such low tension on the low E that I was tuning it up a harmonic, and I'm like doing my chords, and I'm like, why does this sound so much higher pitched than the other 2 strings below it? And when I would tune it down to the E below it, it would it was just very kind of loose. So I did use a low E that was used previously just for a short amount of time. So I changed it to a new one, and I was going to change it to a different set of strings, thinking there's, you know, maybe this guitar just did not work with the Voodoo Child strings for some reason. But I finally tuned it down again after seeing I had this high tension for a second time on a brand new string. You know, it was so tight you couldn't bend it, you know, couldn't bend the strings. So I have seen guitars where all the strings were kind of that loosey, you know, there was an Ibanez my friend had a long time ago where all the strings were loose even though they were in tune, and they were easy to break. You know, I could strum hard and it'd start popping the strings. So after I found out that it's just the guitar or the setup, it's now in tune. I don't know if the intonation is 100% correct. I'll probably have to re-intonate it later. What do I think about it? Is the dream guitar or whatever, does it live up to the expectations? I mean, what are the expectations of something you've never played and haven't really heard? You just, you know, you look at it and you say, that's an awesome looking guitar. That's something that I want. So I would say it's kind of a complicated guitar. It's hard to explain, because when you have the volume to like up to like 90-95% on the 2 pickup volumes, it sounds one way, but you go that other 5-10% or whatever, it changes the tone, volume, and everything. So I find myself having to pull back or push forward to get like a sound that I kind of want. I don't know if that's by design, if it's been a modification, or if maybe when you just turn it just that last little bit, maybe it's giving that priority, that pickup, a priority on the mix, I guess you would say. So it's kind of strange. I've never really had experience with something that did that. And when I changed to the Voodoo Child strings, it was harder to get the squealies, the harmonics and stuff to work. I mean, so obviously the string type or whatever does affect, you know, stuff like that. It can affect tone, you know, playability, yada yada. I did adjust the neck because it had a little bit, maybe too much relief, and I might even be able to adjust it more. But saying that, the low E plays so light, I would imagine that even if the rest of these guys didn't buzz, I'd probably have to lift the bridge here to make it work. So it's probably fine the way it is. The feel, I don't really have a problem with the feel of the guitar, but I'm just, you know, I'm used to the Japanese Fender Squier Jagmaster sound. It sounds great to me. I'm used to the other cheap Epiphone I have. Sounds pretty good. This sounds different. I have to experiment with different amps, different, you know, I got the Line 6 HX Stomp Box, I believe that's what it's called. I haven't really had a proper time to demo it either, but I have several amps, and my little Line 6 amplifier, I'm not super satisfied with how it sounds with this. Maybe my tube amplifier with this and the Stomp Box maybe running in the, what is it called, the 3 cable method or whatever, or 4 cable method, where you send it through the effects loop, and you know, certain effects go into the front, certain effects go into the effects loop. Just out of the box, the presets I don't think are that great for anything I've experimented with, but I did make, you know, my own preset or whatever, which sounded good on some of the guitars that I was using before, but it really doesn't sound that great on this one. So you gotta kind of, I guess, adjust everything, you know, you know, what strings you like, what amplifier sounds best, which effects, and how you customize, you know, and equalize everything to get it sounding good. I think getting a set of strings that I like the feel and the sound of, and getting those harmonics back, is probably going to be the key for me to try to figure out how to make this sound, you know, push me to get a sound that I like through a certain amplifier or number of amplifiers, or, you know, stomp boxes or whatever. But as is, I'm not 100% satisfied with how it sounds. Anyway, I really don't have time to demo and set up everything and try to come up with custom effects and pull out all the amplifiers right now, but I'm sure we're long overdue for doing some kind of music topic, you know, instrument topic, and I just had a few minutes here to just talk about it. So I should go ahead and correct myself and say I shouldn't say good or bad when I'm talking about the tone of a certain guitar or whatever. I should say it's not the sound that I'm looking for yet. Hopefully with a change of amp, EQ settings, learning the guitar a little bit better, and maybe some new strings, we can have it to be, you know, how I want it to sound. You know, good or bad is, you know, just an opinion, and I don't want people to say, hey, this is a great sounding guitar, what are you talking about? All right, guys, take care.